Hey, what's up, everyone? Brandon Lee with VirtualizationHowto. And if there's one thing that I enjoy about running a home lab, it's finding new projects that actually improve the way that I manage the environment. I'm a big believer in project-based learning, and honestly, the weekend is usually when I have time to sit down and deploy something new. Sometimes it's a new monitoring platform, sometimes it's a management utility, sometimes it's just a simple tool that ends up saving me hours every week. In this video, I want to show you 9 Linux management tools that have earned a permanent place in my own home lab. These aren't just tools that I've tested for a blog post. These are tools that I continue to use, and they solve real problems and make Linux administration easier. All in all, they help me spend less time managing infrastructure and more time building cool things. So stick around and let's dive into these 9 Linux management tools that I think you're really going to like. The first tool on my list is Cockpit. And if you've been around Linux for any amount of time, you've probably heard of the solution, but I still think it's one of the most underrated Linux management tools that's available today. Once you install Cockpit, it exposes a clean web administration interface that allows you to do admin tasks that normally you would have to SSH into your server to perform. Right from your browser, you can review things like system performance, manage your storage, restart services, browse through system logs, apply operating system updates, monitor CPU, memory, disk, and even launch a web terminal if you need direct shell access. One of the things I really appreciate about Cockpit is that it doesn't try to hide Linux from you. It's simply a really nice interface that makes common admin tasks so much easier while actually giving you full access to the underlying operating system whenever you need it. Cockpit is easily one of my top recommendations. Next up is a tool called Patchmon. And if you're running traditional mutable Linux servers that require regular operating system updates, this is probably the best Linux patch management solution that I've found. One of the biggest challenges with long-running Linux servers is simply keeping up with patches. It's easy to lose track of which servers have which updates and which ones have possibly fallen behind. Patchmon solves that problem by continuously scanning your Linux host, and it shows you exactly which packages are out of date. Then, once you've added your servers, you can organize them into groups and create update schedules that match your own maintenance windows. Think of this like a WSUS server for Linux patching, and that means you can automate all of your Linux patches without having to manually log into every Linux server one by one. What I also like about Patchmon is that it supports multiple Linux distributions, so you're not tied to a single Linux OS like Ubuntu or Debian. And also, even though this video is focused on Linux, it can also give you visibility into Windows update statuses. And if you're running Windows and Linux systems, this can definitely take a load off your admin work. The next tool on the list has quickly become one of the core monitoring platforms in my home lab, and that is Pulse. Ever since I've moved my production workloads over to Proxmox, I've been looking for a monitoring solution that didn't require multiple different platforms just to understand what was happening in my environment. Pulse gives me that visibility into my Proxmox hosts, storage systems with Proxmox, including Ceph, and my Docker hosts, all from one dashboard. Instead of deploying one monitoring platform for your virtualization stack and then another one for your containers, and I've definitely been down that road in the past before, Pulse lets you consolidate everything into a single interface, and I really like that. It definitely cuts down on the admin work, and it does a really good job of monitoring between the two different technologies of Proxmox and your Docker containers. What really impresses me as well about Pulse monitoring is that it's easy to stand up a Pulse server. You can install the lightweight agents on your Proxmox hosts and Docker hosts, and Pulse will automatically keep those agents updated. It immediately begins collecting the metrics, and I think it does a really good job of actually collecting the ones that matter in the environment. It doesn't overwhelm you with endless dashboards and configuration screens. It's very simple, and it gives you the visibility that you need. And on top of that, the alerting works really well out of the box. And I found that the default thresholds, I tweaked those a little bit, but for the most part, they were actually pretty sensible. insane. If you're looking for something that's a little more general purpose and isn't specifically focused on Proxmox or Docker, Beszel is another excellent option. One of the things I like most about Beszel is how quickly you can deploy it and start getting value from it. It itself is a simple Docker container, and it gives you visibility once again on things that are important, like CPU usage, memory usage, disk utilization, network activity, and historical performance metrics for all of your servers. And then it takes all of that and presents it in a very clean and modern interface. And that's one of the things I really like about it. It's simple, but it's not watered down. You can actually get fairly deep troubleshooting metrics from the solution. Some monitoring platforms require hours or even days of setup before they're useful. And Beszel, like Pulse, as I mentioned before, I think is one of those monitoring solutions that quickly gives you value once you stand it up. Now let's talk about one of the tools that almost every self-hoster has heard about in the last couple or 3 years, and that is Uptime Kuma. This is definitely one of the first monitoring solutions I deploy because it's usually the first thing that tells me when something has gone wrong in the home lab. Most infrastructure problems eventually show up as a service outage. Maybe your reverse proxy has gone down. Maybe your DNS server stopped working. Maybe one of your Docker applications has crashed. Whatever the issue happens to be, Uptime Kuma immediately lets you know that a service is unavailable. And that's literally the beauty of the solution, Uptime Metrics. And it will tell you very quickly if something is down. One of the biggest strengths, I think, of Uptime Kuma is just how many different things it can monitor. Now we have access to monitor websites, APIs, Docker services, virtual machines, DNS servers, reverse proxies, SQL servers, many other database server technologies, and just about anything else that responds over the network can be monitored. The notification integrations are also really outstanding. So whether you prefer email, Discord, Slack, Teams, Telegram, or many other notification platforms, Uptime Kuma probably supports it. My recommendation is always to start by monitoring your critical infrastructure first, and that includes things we've already mentioned: DNS servers, reverse proxies, identity providers, storage systems, backup servers, and your virtualization hosts. Once those core services are covered, then you can begin adding your application stacks to the mix. That approach, I think, gives you a lot more confidence that when an alert comes in, it's something that probably deserves your attention. If you've ever used HTOP, think of btop as a modern evolution of that idea. It provides a beautifully designed terminal interface that shows all of those key performance indicators like CPU use, memory, swap usage, disk activity, network activity, processes that are running, and you get all of that on a real-time screen that auto updates. Instead of jumping between different commands like top, free, iostat, iftop, instead you can launch a btop terminal and it consolidates much of that information into one interface. And I find that really useful to see all of those metrics together, updating together in real time. Another thing I appreciate is how customizable btop is. You can change themes, you can adjust the refresh intervals, you can tailor the display to match your own preferences. Despite all of the information it provides, it's still lightweight enough that it doesn't consume a whole lot of system resources just to launch the command. So whenever I'm SSH'd into a Linux server trying to troubleshoot performance issues, btop is usually one of the very first commands that I run because it gives me really an excellent overview of what's happening on the system in just a few seconds. Another tool that really surprised me recently is a tool called Sencho. If you're managing lots of Docker Compose applications like I am, this is one that definitely deserves your attention. While I still enjoy editing Docker Compose files directly at times, having a graphical interface for managing those deployments and stacks can definitely make life much easier. And Sencho uses a centralized management container along with a lightweight pilot agent, as they call it, that is installed on the Docker hosts. And from your one interface, you can monitor multiple Docker servers and view the health of your Compose stacks across your estate, or the fleet as it refers to it as. And you can manage your entire Docker environment from that single dashboard. And one of the standout features for me in Sencho is a snapshot capability. Before making changes to a Docker Compose stack, you can quickly create a snapshot directly from the interface. And it's not a virtual machine snapshot, but rather a snapshot of your stacks, your Docker Compose. And that's something I've just not seen or noticed implemented in other platforms. So I think if you've used other tools like Portainer or Komodo, I think Sencho is actually a refreshing take on Docker Compose management. And as I think Docker Compose has become a huge part of most people's home labs, having that kind of tool is really excellent and pays off quickly. Another newer discovery for me has been Loggifly. If you're running Docker hosts, you've probably found yourself digging through container logs if something is already broken, and that's certainly how I used to work. I'd wait until an application crashed, SSH into the server, run Docker logs, the container name, and then start searching for error messages. Loggifly changes that workflow and kind of turns it on its head by continuously monitoring your Docker container logs and watching for keywords or phrases that you define. Things like error or warning or fail or any custom keywords that you might need for a specific solution or container that you're running. And it will immediately generate alerts once those key phrases are seen and shoot those out to modern notification services like Pushover or Notify or Godify. And I found this is incredibly useful while testing new applications or updating existing services. If I have Loggifly monitoring that container, if it enters into a restart loop or throws an unexpected exception after an upgrade, Loggifly is going to notify me on that immediately. And it also includes the actual log messages attached to the message. That dramatically reduces troubleshooting time, I think, and that helps to identify issues before you even notice something is down in the home lab. It's a simple idea, but one that's incredibly valuable, I think, for day-to-day home lab operations. The final tool I want to talk about is Semaphore UI. If you followed the channel for a while, you already know how much I rely on Ansible for configuration management in both my home lab and production environments. Automation, I think, is one of the coolest and best ways that can save you time while managing your environments consistently across your infrastructure. Semaphore UI provides a modern graphical interface for managing those Ansible playbooks, inventories, credentials, and automation jobs. Now, personally, I actually prefer it over the native Ansible AWX solution because I find it much lighter weight, it's easier to manage, and better suited for home lab environments. It's not actually just a specific Ansible tool. They've added a lot of additional functionality to it to manage things like PowerShell and other scripting languages, but just know that it is a fantastic tool, especially if you want to manage your Ansible playbooks and automation. One of the biggest misconceptions I still hear about Linux is that managing Linux servers means spending your entire day inside of dozens of SSH sessions. While the command line is still incredibly important, I think the tools that we've highlighted here prove that modern Linux administration has evolved significantly, and there are a lot of really valuable tools out there that can improve your workflows. Whether you're looking for better server management, centralized patching, infrastructure monitoring, Docker management, log alerting, configuration automation, every one of these tools solves a specific problem that you'll likely find or encounter as your home lab continues to grow. And the best part is that most of these tools can be deployed over the course of a single weekend. And I think you'll start seeing value almost immediately. Well, I'd love to hear which of these tools you've already started using, and if there's another Linux management tool that deserves to be on this list that maybe I don't know about. Let me know down in the comments. Well, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching. Do stay safe out there, keep on home labbing, and I will see you in the next video.